So, good morning from Steph's Kitchen Adventures, and this is about what to do when you think there's absolutely no food in the house. So I just collected up all sorts of bits and pieces because I'm at that point just before the new box of food comes from the wonderful Love Organic, and I had an end of cucumber. I've still got a little bit of cucumber in the fridge and not much else in the way of green stuff. I had two little tomatoes, so they're on there. I've got some broccoli sprouts I've taken from a tray that I've been storing in the fridge. I've chopped up about 8 to 10 hazelnuts. I had the end of a piece of cheese. This is Ticklemore sheep's cheese. So I'm just going to chop up this cheese, and you can see the sort of makings of a lunchbox, even though it looked like nothing when I looked in the fridge earlier. So just chopping up the sheep's cheese there, so that on this side of the chopping board I've got lunchbox things. On this side of the board I've got breakfast bowl things, which is one chopped organic pear from the wonderful organic farm shop in Cirencester last week, plus a few walnuts which I've chopped up. This is for breakfast, this is for lunchbox. So what else have I got? Bits and pieces in the fridge. I had a little bit of grated carrot and a little bit of chopped fennel. I also had the last roasted red pepper, and a little bit of roasted fennel. I sort of combined those together. I'm going to put those in this lunchbox where I've already got some leaves. Organic, no, they're not organic leaves, I have to confess, but they're what I had left, and so that will have to be it today. I'm going to add to my lunchbox this grated carrot and roasted veg that I just had left over. I don't throw things out. There's a tiny bit of food left. It will go very nicely with something, as long as it's still fresh. So those have gone in there with a little bit of organic dressing as well. So I've got a good start. I've got my leaves in there. I've got a bit of roasted veg and some grated carrot and chopped fennel. And there's a little bit of roast tomato in there too. And then I'm going to add what's on the lunchbox side of my chopping board. And somehow, as delicately, as carefully as possible, I'm going to put a little bit of that Ticklemore cheese in there, some broccoli sprouts, cucumber, tomato, more cucumber, and some chopped hazelnuts. Now the hobbits, I think, ate hazelnuts and cheese, or was it in Wind of the Willows? Anyway, those sorts of people eat hazelnuts and cheese together, and that's fine with me. And then what else have I got for a lunchbox? I've got some hummus over here. I'm going to dollop a bit of hummus on that I've got left. That will be very marvellous. I'm not going to stint on the hummus because I've got a reasonable amount of this. And I've also got a little bit of guacamole as well. So I'm just going to use up this end of the guacamole pot as well, and that will give me a lovely avocado-ish dressing on my leaves. So I shall show you how this is all looking. I think we're doing quite well for really not much in the house at all. So this is how we are. The hummus, we've got the broccoli sprouts over there, some guacamole on the leaves. So I've also got a jar of turmeric sauerkraut. I'm going to add some of this to the mix too. There's, again, hardly anything left, but we're not going to waste anything. This is all good stuff. Some sauerkraut, really good for your gut bugs. This is the Biona Golden Turmeric Sauerkraut. Very reasonable price. I think it's something like $2.99 for a jar, which lasts a little while. I pour a little bit of the juice on there. Also, I'm not getting rid of that sauerkraut juice because there's a lot of goodness still in that, and that can be mixed. I can use the jar to make a dressing, add some oil into that, maybe some nut butter, and that'll be some dressing. Then I've got, now I think that's it for my lunchbox. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, and I'm doing pretty well there. I might just finish off the hummus we won't hang on to the last part of that. So we've got lots of lovely protein in there from the chickpeas and the hummus, cheese, hazelnuts, and we've got some nice veggies in there as well. So that is my lunchbox. I might take an oat cake or two. Trying to cut down on oat cakes, too much carbs. But that's just me at the minute. Not to say you shouldn't fill your boots with oat cakes. That is my lunchbox. So next up, breakfast bowl. I've done my usual thing of soaking some oats and seeds overnight. I've also chopped a dried apricot or two in there. I've had a little bit of some yogurt and water, and also a bit of maple syrup I put in there as well. So we've got golden linseed, sesame seeds, chia seeds in there, all good stuff. And I'm going to add to that some yogurt. I think I've got a dollop of yogurt to put on top. This is again the end of a pot of yogurt, so just making use of those bits and pieces you've got left in the fridge. The fridge is pretty empty now, I have to say. I've still got a tray of broccoli sprouts in there. I've still got about 2 inches of a piece of cucumber. I've got a bag of spinach and some jars, like jars of miso, and can't remember what the other thing is, but there's also some chutney in there as well. But really, apart from that, it's pretty empty. Now, what I'm doing next is I'm adding the end of a jar of white almond butter to my breakfast. I love this, just using up what's there, and you can create amazing things. So I've dolloped some yogurt on there, I've dolloped some white almond butter on there. I want to get every last bit out of that jar because it is very wonderful stuff. This is made by Carly's in Cornwall. So there we are, almond butter. I'm collecting spoons in my bowl, and that's all right. I've got another spoon here. Last bit of a tin of peaches and fruit juice. If you saw my video yesterday, this is very similar to yesterday's video, but it just shows what you can do just to use what's there and make something slightly different every day. It doesn't have to be boring. And then I'm going to add to this bowl my chopped pear and my walnuts. So that is quite a feast. I think you will have to agree, for breakfast. And I'm going to tuck into that now, and I know I'm going to enjoy it. So I just want to have my brief astrology word for my end of the video. And lots of planets in Aries now, which is all about new beginnings, energy, moving forward, and taking action. Lots more stuff moving into Aries during April. So that energy is just building for new starts, new beginnings, taking action, doing exercise, going for walks, and just going for it, really. And so happy new beginnings, and thank you very much for watching. Lots of love. Talk soon.